Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have for you one of the premier failures in urban America. You know that some of America's largest cities pretty much overwhelmingly vote Democrat. They vote blue no matter who, no matter how bad the cities get. They always blame Republicans for it. They blame the orange man, they blame anyone else but themselves, and the whole time they're allowed to fail upwards because they spout the right buzzwords and have a D in front of their name. Okay, now this is Lori Lightfool. I'm sure you know who she is. She's the mayor of Chicago. She is one of the most inept mayors the Windy City has ever had. And you will probably remember her saying that she will refuse to take questions from, quote, any white man. Now, I don't know how this happened, but at a press briefing yesterday, a member of the conservative press, not the mainstream media, questioned her, somehow broke through the ranks and asked her a question that was not pre-scripted or asked in advance. You could hear the mainstream media all muttering and tuttering under their breath when he asked the questions. By the way, these were normal questions that needed to be asked. And then she had the gall to accuse his questions of not being appropriate. This is the woman who has made immutable characteristics the sole platform she runs on, the sole issue she governs her life and her city by, which affects all those who live in it. So this is the exchange. This clip we're going to watch is the exchange between them, and it just goes to show the look on her face is priceless. This is someone who thinks she is a mini dictator in a big fish in a small pond. She feels like a lot of Democrats that the United States of America has been broken up into little tribes, warring tribes, and she is the warlord or the dictator of her little area, which is Chicago. And you see this with other Democrat areas. The sign, one of many, of a tyrant is somebody who refuses to take questions from anyone but pre-approved sycophants. And when they do, you get this. The look on her face. If she could broil him alive, she probably would. If she could get away with it, she probably would. You know, you always see this where they're pushing the envelope. Slowly but surely they say and they do more extreme things on the left. But let's get into this clip now. But if you haven't yet, please like the video if you find it informative, subscribe to the Hoggcast, hit the notification bell, and most importantly share this video around. We are shadow banned, demonetized and reduced. We are conservative commentators, and as such we are not welcome on this amazing platform. Okay, let's go. Okay, so as usual, we will play the clip. You can watch it, and then after that we'll go back, we'll watch again, and I'll stop it intermittently to make some good points I feel I need to make. And as this conservative reporter is asking her questions for the duration of this, before I go back and play it again and give my thoughts, watch the look on her face. It's very revealing.
Last week at 4 in the afternoon, of course we have this horrific Juneteenth, 50-some shootings, a young Hispanic couple pulled from their car and shot execution style. This video has gone viral. I don't think we've had any arrests in this case yet. A tourist came to Chicago and was stabbed in the back and murdered on Juneteenth here in the city of Chicago. Our police chief referred to the location of the stabbing as a homeless camp. Last time, I was born and raised in Chicago. I always considered it to be the financial district of Chicago, not a homeless camp.
You have a question, sir?
Yeah. So my question is, do you feel personally responsible for your rhetoric, your heated rhetoric is responsible for this off-the-charts violent crime in the city of Chicago?
So
So you see her sycophants are getting involved, trying to get her not to answer the question. Look at her face up there. Look. They they don't want to answer the question. The sycophants. I hope my microphone picks it up. My audio device, it's coming through my speakers. I hope it picks it up, because the other reporters, they did it then, and they'll do it again in a moment when you see what happens next. But the mainstream media sycophant reporters, along with all of her aides there, they all kind of murmur as if like, oh, how the hell did he get in here? You know, someone's asking questions instead of saying, someone's asking real questions instead of asking what colour is what's your favourite colour?
Several questions.
Oh, no, I have a follow-up. No, I only asked one question.
Okay. So,
White reporter in the house.
so you know what? That's not appropriate, sir. If you look around you, sir, you're surrounded by white reporters.
So that was a stupid joke for him to make. He should realise that. I know why he did it, because Lori Lightfool said she would only take questions from non-white reporters. So he made a joke, but he should understand that he is in a Chicago press briefing full of leftists, full of mainstream media sycophants. Who was that joke to? There's no one in the room that's going to find your joke funny.
I really ask you to
do you feel responsible?
Sir. Let me answer the question that you already asked. So I don't know where you're from. I know what magazine you're from.
And by the way, they did turn his microphone off because they just wanted to stop him from talking, asking him questions. It's the difference between the way conservative commentators, reporters and commentators get treated compared to the left wing. It's the same with politicians. It's the same with every sphere of human interaction in society, Western society. The way leftists get treated and the way conservatives get treated, it's like night and day. It really is. And these leftists are the people who try and claim that they're rebels, that they're fighting injustice. You don't fight the injustice if you're a leftist. You bring the injustice.
And I know what your conservative viewpoints are, but on almost every question that you ask, you had the facts wrong. So here's what I will say in answer to about the 15 questions that you just asked. No one thinks that a single act of violence is ever acceptable, least of all me. The hotels are where they are here in Chicago, as they are across the country, because of economic shutdown related to COVID-19. So that the premise of your very first question is fundamentally flawed and wrong. And you can have your opinion on it, but I got the facts. And what we're here to say.
Oh, no, you don't. Okay, look, let's go back. We'll watch again. There's a lot that happened in that video, that clip, that I want to unpack and go over. So we'll go back to the beginning. I'll play it again. I'll stop it fairly intermittently on this one, because there is a lot, even though the clip was only 2 minutes 15 seconds, a lot was said in that time that needs to be picked apart. And there's a lot that needs to be said. So we'll go back and do that now.
This horrific Juneteenth, 50-some shootings. A young Hispanic couple pulled from their car and shot execution style. This video has gone viral. I don't think we've had any arrests in this case yet. A tourist came to Chicago and was stabbed in the back and murdered on Juneteenth here in the city of Chicago. Our police chief referred to the location of the stabbing as a homeless camp. Last time, I was born and raised in Chicago. I always considered it to be the financial district of Chicago, not a homeless camp.
You have a question, sir?
Yeah. So my question is, do you feel personally responsible for your rhetoric, your heated rhetoric is responsible for this off-the-charts violent crime in the city of Chicago?
So.
So they don't want her to answer that question. You can see there's murmurings from the mainstream media who are gathered, and also her aides are saying, oh, there's multiple questions, oh, don't answer this, don't answer that. They don't want her to answer it. This wasn't planned. The idea was you would have mainstream media sycophants would come out and say, oh, how amazing you are. Donald Trump is such a bad man. Wouldn't you agree? Chocolate chip ice cream is the best. Wouldn't you agree? Those are the type of questions that the Democrats get asked. The mainstream media sycophants, activists pretending to be journalists, will frame a question. Okay, so they have, and I've said this before, they have an answer first, and what they want is they will ask a question in such a way to get the answer they want. And the Democrats have been having such an easy ride, and the conservative Republicans have been having such a hard ride. When a Democrat gets a tough question like this, to be fair, yes, he kind of rambled a little bit, but he got to the question. It catches them off guard because they, day in, day out, are surrounded by adoring sycophants who will wipe their rear ends for them if they asked, so long as they are allowed to fail upwards, which seems to be the driving force on the left. They will do and say anything, no matter how hypocritical, no matter the double standards, no matter how stupid, evil, or insane that they make themselves look, so long as that they get their back rubbed and they can move up the ladder of the public sector. So let's continue.
I'll ask one question.
Okay. So,
White reporter in the house.
so
Okay, so that was a stupid thing for him to say in the environment that he's in. I know what he's getting at. She said that before, she said that she wouldn't be taking questions from any white reporters. That's probably why all of her sycophant friends jumped in. That's probably why she had that look on her face. She didn't want to take a question from a white reporter or a conservative for that matter. And you're going to see what she says in a minute about that. But that being said, his question was stupid. His joke was stupid, I should say. White reporter in the house. He should, and I appreciate he's nervous, but he should understand that he is in Chicago in the press briefing of Lori Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot is surrounded by her sycophants and the mainstream media shills. Who is this joke for? There's nobody in that room who's going to laugh at it. Okay? You are the lone conservative. In the back of her mind, she's probably wondering how on earth you even got into the room and were allowed to speak. I should imagine afterwards, heads rolled with her saying, yeah, how did this guy get in here? But let's continue.
you know what? That's not appropriate, sir. If you look around,
She's right. That is not appropriate. But Lori Lightfoot, when you said that you wouldn't take questions from white reporters, was that appropriate? Let's have some standards here. Let's have a society. Let's have a society where there is one standard for all. Why is it okay for you to say shit and crap, especially about immutable characteristics, but when a conservative makes a joke, a silly joke, benign joke though, all of a sudden it's not appropriate? He's joking when he talks about immutable characteristics. You're not.
if you look around you, sir, you're surrounded
Okay.
by white reporters. So I really ask you
Okay.
to
Do you
hold
feel
on, sir.
responsible?
Let me answer the question that you've already asked. So I don't know where you're from. I know what magazine you're from, and I know what your conservative viewpoints are. But on almost every question that you asked, you had the facts wrong. So here's
Well, he didn't. His display was quite, how can I put it? The way he delivered his questions was a bit silly. He came across as a right-wing Jim Acosta, for example, and nobody wants to be Jim Acosta or even equated with him. That being said, what he said about the violence on Juneteenth is correct. You know, I appreciate we are in a society now where conservatives are heavily censored. We are, that's without a doubt. But, that being said, we are still in a position where we can see footage uploaded. And everything he said, there was footage of it. So, we've got a choice. None of it was played on mainstream media, of course. But we've got a choice. We can either believe your lying mouth, Lori Lightfool, or we can believe what our eyes saw and our ears heard. So he's not wrong. His delivery of the question was immature, stupid. He should have realised that he's not among friends. He can't joke like that in a Chicago press room full of left-wing sycophants. These people don't have a sense of humour. You can't joke with them, just like you can't reason with the left. But that being said, his facts are not wrong. Those crimes happened. And as for Juneteenth, this is just another attempt to divide people even further than they already are. The idea of July the 4th, Independence Day and other such celebrations is to bring people together, regardless of immutable characteristics. When you say, right, well, we're going to have Juneteenth and we're going to celebrate it and it's going to be just for us, that causes further division. And that's your intention all along. That was your intention all along. It couldn't be anything else.
Here's what I will say in answer to about the 15 questions that you just asked. No one thinks that a single act of violence is ever acceptable, least of all me.
So do something about it. You live in a city, you run a city that has astounding levels of serious crime, particularly black on black crime, okay? And look, let's be fair, black on quite a lot of other crime as well. I appreciate racism can go in many different ways, but the truth is, if you want it, not many people want the truth, but I'll give it to you. The truth is that white people will normally make up, universally, the majority, year on year, of victims of inter-ethnicity crimes. Not white on black, black on white, and that's just the truth. But when it comes to black on black crime, Lori Lightfool does nothing. You see, she talks a good talk about diversity and this new word, equity. First it was equality, and then they subtly changed it to equity. They did that for a reason, but that's another discussion. But when she says that not a single act of violence is acceptable, if that's the case, why are you always on the case of the police? Why are you taking the side of the criminals every time? And you demonise the very police you demand protects you. I remember seeing the footage of her house. There was a police guard outside her house for days. I can't remember why. I think there was protesters. The protesters were making their way to her street. This is the same person who wants to defund the police so that the police can't defend your house. But she gets a round-the-clock guard from the very people she wants to defund.
The hotels are where they are here in Chicago as they are across the country because of economic shutdown related to COVID-19. So that the premise of your very first question is fundamentally flawed and wrong. And you can have your opinion on it, but I got the facts. And what?
Oh, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. So your fact is the homelessness in Chicago only appeared because of economic shutdown due to COVID. That's what you just said. So you're telling me that homelessness was not an issue in Chicago and elsewhere in the country, coincidentally in these Democrat urban areas. So you're telling me that was not an issue before. That's your facts, is it, Lori Lightfool?
What we're here to...
Despicable. So look, that's the end of the clip. I just wanted to show you that because I wanted you to see the reaction of Lori Lightfool and the way that she responds when she encounters a Conservative reporter. I believe that individual, the Conservative reporter, I think he was from what are the two? Those two kind of new upstart news channels. I can't remember what they're called. I really can't. I haven't watched them for a while, but there's two of them, aren't there? They're quite new, quite edgy, and he somehow got in there and he asked a question they didn't want her to ask. That's why the sycophants all murmured when it came time for her to answer the questions. But I should imagine heads are going to roll for this. But look, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't yet, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share the video around. That will help me stay competitive with CNN, MSNBC, and the mainstream media sycophants. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.